What's up, YouTube? Another episode of the Ask Stevie show about to be recorded. Got the question pulled up. That's the wrong question, actually. Hold on. Oh, I lost the notepad. What the question is. Sorry, YouTube. Give me a second. There's the question. Copy and pasted it to the notepad, and let's get started. I like to remember the question before I start because otherwise I'm misquoting my dear listeners who submit these. Anyway, about to record in Zoom. Oh, right. Audacity, not Zoom. Visualize the intro music. Hey, welcome back. So glad to have you. Today's question is super to the point and practical. I hope it helps you and that you can apply my answer straight away. The question is, how do I develop routines? How do I develop routines? If you know me, you know that my routines are everything. I think they're super critical, especially the morning routine, which starts when you open your eyes. It doesn't start at 4 a.m., 4:30 in the morning. It starts whenever you open your eyes. No worries. The evening routine is just the last thing you do before bed. So the last couple items of it can even be in your bed if it's like reading a book or praying or doing affirmations or something that you could do in bed. That's how I like to end the evening routine and start the morning routine for that matter. But how do you develop them? Well, the first thing to understand is what it means to develop a routine. You are moving from comfortable, reactive chaos into uncomfortable, proactive organization, structure, routine. Everyone, most people, are incredibly acclimated to waking up and just reacting to whatever happens around them throughout the day. Emails, calls, texts, social media, snail mail in the mailbox, bills, alerts, notifications, warnings. And they just spend 24 hours a day reacting programmatically to all sorts of triggers. However, routines interrupt this pattern. That's why they're so important. It's a completely proactive mode of being. And that's why it's so uncomfortable, because we're just used to running around responding to shit at best, if not reacting. We're not used to ignoring shit, tuning shit out, prioritizing, because it feels weird. So it's a process. Routines gives you a foundation to not be reactive, because no matter what's going on in your life, if your partner broke up with you, you're going through a divorce, your pet just died, whatever nightmare is happening or challenge, you still do your routines. You must have this intimate relationship with them, with your routines. So how do you develop them? The way I like to think about it, now that we understand macro, that we're shifting from comfortable reaction into this uncomfortable proactive, where it's completely ignoring everything that's already happened and it's entirely focused on the present and the future. That's what a routine is. I like to think of it as carving a new path of least resistance. You've heard the term path of least resistance, which implies whatever's easiest. Typically, the hardest thing and the right thing are the same, by the way. So the path of least resistance doesn't get you anywhere good fast. I'll say that. So let's carve a better one using routines. Second note I'll make, excuse me, is that you shouldn't, well, let me just finish up that point. You have to brute force to carve the path of least resistance. Once you design your routine, do it for 30 days to 90 days every single day. At the end of those 30 to 90 days, especially 90 days, you're going to be automatically doing that routine. Every time you wake up, every time you go to bed, it's going to be so deeply ingrained. Trust me. So that's how you do it. You just fucking do it. After you fucking do it, it becomes easy and you don't want to do anything else. So if you want to become your highest and best self, you want to become that person, you've got to master this skill. So anyway, some tips. Put things that energize you in the morning routine and put things that drain you in the evening routine. Socializing drains me. So I have time with friends and family time in the evening. If I did that in the morning, I'd be exhausted. Creating content energizes me, it gets me fired up. If I had my content creation like this podcast at nighttime, it wouldn't be good. Wouldn't even feel like doing it. First of all, I'd have to take energy drinks or something, So that's one approach. The second thing to layer on top of that is your routines. And I feel like almost everyone gets this backwards. Your routines should be focused on your needs, your self-care. It's part of reparenting yourself or healing or rewiring your nervous system. However you want to frame it, you have tremendous opportunity to fill your cup. Emotionally, what do you need? Physically, what do you need? Mentally, what do you need? Spiritually, what do you need? Put those things in your morning and evening routine so that you can afford to be reactive the rest of the day. You'll have a fuller cup after doing your routine, sleeping, doing your routine again. Wow, you just took care of yourself before and after a giant nap. You are ready. Go out and be reactive. Go run around and help people. Whatever you want to do, your cup's full. The reason this is so critical is because people will make a routine based on their highest self, their future self. You got to be honest about where you are. I don't wake up at 4:30 and drink coffee and fucking do 10,000 push-ups and, that's not me. And if I ignored my needs and just tried to do a routine based on someone else that I have made an idol out of, I'm hurting myself. So I need to understand, what do I need, and put that in my routine. And then I'm free to, kind of just run around and be a little bit of a multitasking workaholic. But it's okay. It's not okay to do that 24/7, but it's okay to boundary between structured space, like routines. So those are some of my most important thoughts about routines. How to brute force them. It is what it is. Make sure that the energizing stuff and the draining stuff is in the right spots. And also, it's okay to tweak. I change my routine once every month, once every 2 months. I'm like, I don't like this piece anymore. I want to do this. I took this out and I miss it. Don't get attached to it. Don't make it a crutch. If it becomes an addiction, like you can't function without your routine, now you got a whole other problem, right? So be balanced about it. Jump back on the bandwagon when you fall off. Don't expect yourself to adhere to it perfectly. It's there for you. And you can dedicate as much time following it or not following it as you want. The more you follow it, the more you can experience what happens when you follow it. Just valuable data and feedback on refining and improving it. Routines are everything, man. They really are. You'll optimize your routine so much to the point where every single day you're on fire. You're at your best self just because you got your perfect morning routine dialed in. It's different for everyone. So go out there, write down a list of things you're going to do every single time you open your eyes, and a second list of what you'll do every single evening before bed. And start doing it. It's tremendous. Hope this helps. Take care. That was kind of a different tone than usual, YouTube. If you'd like to show some love down below, Take care.